Okay, good evening and welcome to the Board of Finance special meeting. Today's Wednesday, May 15th. We'll call the meeting to order at 8:22 and start by having everyone introduce themselves, beginning on my right.
Anna Mann.
Kevin McNabola?
John Cifarelli, Finance Director.
Jim Leahy.
Ajit Jain.
Kevin Houlihan, thank you. Item number 3 is public dialogue, and since there's no one here from the public, we'll move on to item number 4, budget discussion, vote to set the mill rate. If the budget passes the referendum, which it did pass 221 to 48, so thank you for everyone who did come out and vote. So John, we need a motion to set the mill rate at 31 mills.
Correct.
I'll make the motion to set the mill rate at 31 mills.
A second.
Second by Ajit. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous.
I think we should just explain that we've also phased in the reevaluation, so the residents know that it's not 31 on what their new reevaluation is. It's 31 if you take the equation, take the new appraisal minus the old appraisal, come up with that number, get 25% of that and add it to the old one, then multiply it by 0.31, that would be your new tax rate.
Yeah, because that's what I did say that at the town,
Right.
the town meeting, but yeah, I should have, but thank you.
And are we
Yes, so
still, at this point, do we still only know that that's for this year, the 25%? We don't know what the next 3 years.
We don't know if it's 3 or 4
3 or
total
4,
still.
yeah.
That's still up in
They're
the
in
air.
discussion still on that.
So,
Well, I think it's important to say thank you to
Oh,
those
yeah.
who did come out and
Yes.
vote.
Yeah.
It's important to support the services and things of our town. Thanks.
Second have it.
okay, item 5, budget transfer, July 1st, 2024 budget, C sheet.
Okay, because
John,
we
is the
didn't,
sheet up
yeah,
top,
if
right?
you could put that big, Jim, we could use that right now. Because we didn't know we were gonna have the phase-in at the time we went to the budget hearing, we had to figure the mill rate in at what it would be at the full reevaluation number, which is the numbers we published for those 3 line items of revenue. Since the phase-in, those line items change a little bit, the same total, but they
Adjusted.
readjust themselves between the 3. So I could have did it without your vote, but I think it'd be better for you guys to vote to agree to the new allocation, so I could put that in the budget. And you can see there's no difference in the amount of taxes collected. And you can see where the differences are between the 3 items.
In an effort to save us time, what I did is I went back, John, and looked up what our revenue was, and so the Excel file on the lower.
Jim, turn on your mic, please.
I'm sorry.
So,
Thank you. I went back and revisited what we had in our files somewhere. And I was able to locate, if you look on the lower right there and just look at taxes, real property, you can see the 63 million, 396, 238. Again, as John mentioned, that was as if we're going to do a full revaluation.
Right, and that's my numbers on the left there.
That's
in
the
first
number
column.
on the budget accounts, and you see the 3 numbers the same as the 3. And then John has basically done the macro, all right, of what you just described for every house you have to do, right? Which is essentially take the new reval, take a quarter of that and use the new real mill rate, and that's how you get all the tax numbers, both in aggregate and individually. And so on the left is the consistent with the 61,329,162 for real property. You can see that on our mill rate sheet, which is the updated mill rate sheet that John happened to have sent to me, and we have in our PDF in Excel, and we have in our PDF in our own files that was distributed. So I just wanted to save us time. If you were like me, trying to say, wait a minute, where are these numbers coming from? And then I was able to tie it back to other files that we have seen.
okay. Do we have a motion to approve the tax collection adjustments?
Motion to approve.
Reallocation.
Reallocation, okay.
Second?
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Item number 6, funding request, allocate funds to complete purchase of equipment for police vehicles, $12,965.49.
Okay, that number is now changed. We're able to,
It was a little too exact.
well, now it's a little more exact, but a little less. The new number is $10,493.16. We allocated $172,000 in the current year for 2 police vehicles and 2 motorcycles. And somehow they ran over their money. So just to be able to straighten the books out, we need a motion to approve the additional expenditure. And this is coming out of the police special duty account.
Okay, so it's funded.
Right, it's plenty of money in that account to take
The
care of
special
that.
duty, okay.
And we put some procedures into practice, so this hopefully doesn't happen again.
So is the motion to allocate that money from police special duty?
Right, yes, please.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second by Ajit. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Discussion and approval of minutes from March 25th, 2024, regular meeting. What's this one?
John, you about to lead off again?
Yeah, I just gotta find them. Give me a second. Okay, starting at the top under guests, we probably should say Town Attorney Vincent Marino under guests. Under public dialogue number 2, Mr. McNamara made a motion to move budget discussion up to item 3, I think that should say.
Yep.
And then on page 2 at the top, it starts on bottom page 1. Mr. Cifarelli reviewed the adjustments to the proposed 24-25 budget, adding that, and I think this would make better clarification. He will have a new grand list with the phase-in years to be determined. And then I think you just take out is still waiting. Then the bottom of that page, after Mr. Cifarelli, I would cross out explain there is, and I would put Mr. Cifarelli requested to allocate $120,000 from special duty account to purchase 2 police vehicles and cross out within this current budget. And that's all I had for this one.
John, on the top, page 1, I'm sorry. On the budget discussion, paragraph at the bottom. As a motion was out of the last sentence, I believe, or the second last sentence, as a motion was made at the previous Board of Finance meeting to recommend that the Board of Finance approve the best possible phase-in, or is it Board of Selectmen?
Should be the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this will come up on the second set of notes, so I don't know if we want to edit it now or come back to it later. I don't know if we can do that if we approve these. But the all-important part, top of page 2, was the budget increase 4.45? Or was it 4.44? I think I saw it in 2 places, so whatever you want it to be is fine by me, but it should be consistent. I went back to at least the materials that we had at the presentation at the budget session, and I think I communicated with the slides anyway, with everybody's help.
I have the budget right here.
Thanks, John. Oh, and I went to the Excel file had 4.45 as well.
4.44.
4.4?
44.
Okay, so we should make that adjustment here. And if other things such as the PowerPoint slide had 4.45, so be it. Thank you.
So on page 1, under budget discussion, the very first line, town attorney Marino explained in detail. Can we add the? Explain in detail the state of Connecticut legislation?
That would sound better. Okay, any other additions or corrections?
Before we do that, Kevin, let me just check one thing. I don't know, John, I still get 4.45 in the material that we sent out.
In our book, it's 4.44.
Yeah, I think we looked at that. Yeah, it was 4-4 last time we looked, yeah.
I always go 4.4.
Well, are the numbers right?
It's the number down there.
Hmm?
I'm not gonna argue over.
Yeah,
point
1/100th.
I am not either, I just don't wanna, you know.
That's not an official document right there. Our budget book is an official document, so I
Okay,
would go with the.
all right, so I
budget
just,
book.
just FYI. All right, I make a motion to approve with as edited.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Kevin. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, unanimous.
All right, John,
Okay.
still batting lead off.
April 25th,
Okay.
budget hearing.
First thing should be at the top there under meeting, instead of meeting room, it should be High Plains Community Center. And then under guests, I would put First Selectman James Zioli and many other residents, just so we have a documentation that there were other people there.
I counted about 50 roughly.
And then under budget presentation, the second paragraph there, at the very last paragraph, he explained in detail the effects of property reevaluation and advised that the Board of Finance, it's gotta be recommend to the Board of Selectmen. Take that approved out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, where are you?
Second bullet.
second
Second
budget
bullet,
presentation.
last sentence.
Last
Do it again,
sentence,
John.
where it says approved, instead, take that out and put recommended to the Board of Selectmen.
A 4-year phase in.
And that's all I really had on that one.
You can see in the top of page 2 that we have the 4.44, which is what I was mentioning before. There is a space, Deb, between the 83 million and the 815. I think it would be useful, if these are our notes, to have the increases in each particular, the amount of the increases. For example, the easiest one that I picked up first was Dr. Scott Petty under the Orange Board of Education. So the total budget, the second bullet under Dr. Scott Petty, the total budget for 24-25 is that 24 million, an increase of 821,298. I went back to the data to get these.
But did he say that?
Yeah, I said it, it was in
Okay.
his presentation.
Okay. You know me, I just don't like adding things that didn't happen, but if he
No,
said
no,
it.
it's all good, but they had to have it in the presentation, they can't go up there and just, wave a couple of flags. And Dr. Byers similarly, let's see, 1, 2, the third paragraph down, and after OPEB, there might be a space or two extra there, Deb, you might wanna see what we got. But anyway, after, at the end of the sentence, I think it will slide in nicely, due to an increase in student enrollment, comma, an increase of 1,375,300. Similarly, the best place I could find to put this, since we wanted all three, since we had the two, was back up at the top of that page, where it says, which is a 44.44% increase from last year. That's a total increase of 3,566,115. That's in the overall, right? I think we need to add, after that, another bullet, which basically gets to the same data that we were talking about with the other two components of the budget. So I would propose it say something like this: Chairman Houlihan, since that seems to be the going rate in this area of the notes. Chairman Houlihan noted that the town's overall increase was, and here's the number dead, 1,369,517, comma, a 4.46% increase, comma, and we had a slide on this. 89% of that increase was due to salary and budget increases.
Salary and benefit.
Excuse me,
budget.
salary and benefit increase. Thank you, Kevin. I wrote it, I couldn't read my own writing. And I believe, the last one on the comment from the audience. John, I thought you gave a very thoughtful response to the question that was asked, and I think it should be noted in the notes. The finance director gave a brief explanation regarding the salary increases that Ms. Deitch mentioned, noting that one increase of, and John, I'll defer to you, but it sounded like maybe 15%, but I don't know the exact number.
Oh, it was the zoning enforcement officer, right?
Was due to the consolidation, and guys can edit that one, of two jobs into one position, because I believe that's what.
That's
was
what
used.
happened, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if 15% is the right number,
I
John?
don't know what that number was. She quoted a number. I didn't say a number. She said
just
a
said
number.
Oh,
I
increase
just-
okay,
too.
Right.
okay.
She said the position and the increase or whatever.
Noted that one
The increase was due.
increase
I'm
mentioned.
not even sure that percentage is right, because in that number was their new contract and retro and everything else, so
Right.
it's all,
Yeah.
yeah.
What I thought was thoughtful was that we had put two positions into one, and that was the reason for it. It could be other factors
Consolidation,
too.
it was due to
Right.
consolidation of.
He
Consolidation
had actually
of
worked
two
in those
positions
two
into one.
positions for a while.
So something like
without
that,
the
Deb, I think
increase.
was accurate, and I think very well noted by John.
Okay. All right,
Better not let that
Right,
go, else I'll have
any-
nothing to get me on the plane.
any other additions or corrections? Then is there a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
Second,
Second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Ajit abstains, so makes it 4-1, 4-0-1. Thank you. Item number 8, to review revenue and expense reports for May 2024. Since we had such a late meeting, I don't know, John, if there's anything you want to highlight, because my preference would be to,
We're doing the one thing I'll say, we're doing very well on revenue. If you've reviewed Art's little Excel sheet there, his projection is very good for the end of the year. He did move the money we got from Yale from the expense side of our reports to the revenue side. And you'll see that in a line item on that report. And that'll kind of make it a little more readable in the future, because we do have a line item with their,
So John, since we have it up on the screen right now, the quickest way to read this for bottom line?
go to the bottom, you know. You can see what he's projecting. I think he's probably a little heavy, but way over,
82,000,007.
yeah.
And the
you
major
can see what
factors
the-
we can read
You can see
right
what
here.
the increase over our budget is right there on the right of that 82,700.
Okay, so if we slide up that third column, or the column that has the 1,135,000 on the bottom, and we just eyeball it as we slide up quickly, we can notice when we start seeing major numbers here, right? Self-support, 30.
I would actually concentrate on the column that says revenue over budget.
Yeah,
Which would be,
right there, revenue over budget.
okay, thank you, so that'd be 3, 4,
So you can see in
This
the
one right here,
assessor's area, in the assessor's area, he's projecting we're gonna get 29,000 more in income over budget, what we
Okay.
budgeted.
so as we slide down, we can see that,
You can see the tax collector, almost 573,000
Yeah.
over what we budgeted,
For 360 on real property,
right?
supplemental motor
Different
vehicles,
lines.
148.
I think on the interest, though, I think the state was looking to drop that 18% interest to 12. I don't think they did, though.
I don't
Kevin,
think
did
it
you
passed,
hear?
I don't think it passed.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
They should have done that long ago.
Yeah,
We had 0 interest rates, basically, you're still charging people 18% if they're late.
Right.
That's just harsh.
yeah.
And you can see in the treasurer's area, he's projecting $1,700,000 more, and 715,000 is that Amity, right at the top there. And he's projecting a lot more in interest.
Yeah,
And I think we're gonna be pretty good in the new year also, because I think we dropped our interest projections a little based
Wow.
on what was gonna happen
5.3 you
with the
get
Fed.
on the stiff?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yep,
and you can
Okay.
see the cell towers are bringing in a little more revenue because of our new tenants up there.
That's a lot of new revenue.
That's a lot. That's a big percentage. 50 grand over a little over 300, geez.
And we had a little problem there, you
15%.
remember, with somebody being on our area on the tower, that took us a little while to get it up there.
all right, yeah, it's a good summary report. It's good. It's good. Good news.
And we'll
Anything-
probably, and we'll probably end up with a little surplus on the expense side too, so.
What's that?
We'll probably end up with a little surplus on the expense side too. That's a little harder to predict because we get to the end of the year and they're holding off doing things like Bob Britton repairs because you never know what's gonna happen. So at the end, he might do some stuff that needs to be done, that he's got money left over. Like the elevator. You see
The elevator's still not fixed?
Yeah.
John, the
We're having trouble
360,
getting parts for it. It's so old.
John, the 360 on the revenue share, what's going on there? That's significant.
They gave us back the revenue sharing. If you remember, we lost that for a few years because our budget was over 2.5% increase.
So we won't be getting that next year.
Probably not, but I get to back out special education costs, so depends what Orange and Amity special education cost is.
I see.
That's how we got it back.
Right.
Tony,
Genevieve?
Genovese and I in Woodbridge talked about it, and we talked about we weren't getting the Amity special education as offset to the report we have to hand in. So he talked to somebody up at OPM, and they said we should put it in, and we did, and that helped both our towns.
That's great.
Well,
So if our
line.
increase goes up 3.5%, just didn't use a number, it doesn't that way this year. But if special ed drops that under
Below.
2.5, then
We
we
could
would
get
reap
it.
this benefit.
We could get it.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, anything on the expense side to point out? No?
There's a few counts going over, a few counts going under at the end of the year. We'll see where we are there. I'm not worried about it, though, nothing big.
Okay.
Tell Art thank you for running this file. This is good.
Yes, it's good.
And it's item 9, not 11. I didn't catch that when you sent out the
Oh,
agenda.
I didn't. I think I took a couple of things out. Sorry about that.
No, it's my fault. You sent it to me, and I said, no, it looks great after. So, is there thank you, everyone, for the budget season and for our success
Yeah, that's
getting it
great.
passed tonight, so
Yeah.
if I'm remiss in thanking everyone for their hard work, the town greatly appreciates it. And
Yeah.
so, with that.
I'll
is there
entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Meeting adjourned at 9:46.